guys, we're back again on another episode right here on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Let's hear it. Hooray! Well, yes, we are still over here at Randyland, and we're walking around, and, you know, things just pop out at you. No matter where you go, things pop out at you. As you walk by, there's stuff, and more stuff. That's what we deal in. We deal in stuff, right? So as we came by the ice cream counters here, and there's a pile of Digicarts. And my film guy always likes to talk about my Digicarts because he knows what they are, and he used them in his classes years ago, whatever. These used to use those old Bernoullis. Is that what they were? Those big, thick discs, the real big ones that went in there, that were only good for, you know, like, I don't know, 450 megabytes, whatever. Then they advanced into a little zip, two-sided high-density floppy as far as removable discs is concerned. But they usually have a hard drive in it, and this is what replaced tape carts in radio stations. You know, they used to have a cart for a commercial, and they'd put the cart in the machine, and it was a tape. And when it was time for a commercial, they'd hit it, and it would play the tape. Well, the Digicart was a digital version of that, and you would have all the different, you know, sound bites stored on the discs or on the hard drive, and you could select by turning the knob, and it would tell you what, you know, whatever title you had entered into it. So when it was time to play that segment, you'd push start, and it would instantly play the segment. It was pretty cool. And they had an advanced memory, so you could, you know, actually have it on start and pause, and then find the next one and push start, next one, and then unpause it, and it would play it in a stacked loop. So they were pretty cool. And, you know, I always liked them because you could replace some tape things with them. But the problem with the Digicarts was the hard drive. And the hard drive, they used to program it with a special data code on line 0 that only 360 systems knew, that you couldn't buy another SCSI cart from someplace else, another drive, and you couldn't put it in there. As you look over further, take a peek. You see the Wawa cup? You see that syrup? That is all that's remaining from the last day we were filming the Hoarders television show right here at this location. And they brought me a soda from Wawa, and I didn't have time to drink it, so I placed it down on top of the counter. And when they came back to do the update episode 3 years later, it had evaporated down about that much. Okay, and I even said on the update episode that we've learned in 3 years the evaporation rate on the Wawa Soda is 3 fingers. So it went down. So now we are several years beyond that, and the Hoarders Wawa Soda has disintegrated down pretty much to solid syrup on the bottom there. I don't think it will evaporate further than that. But you have to save that. And the spider webs on top show you how long that cup has been there, and it will be there as long as I can keep it there, because that is the Hoarders Wawa Soda, and it is still there. I defy you to find even one other hoarder on any of the episodes that still has their undrunk Wawa Coke sitting in the same position with it evaporated down to solid syrup. See, this is something you could try. Just takes about 15 years to get to that point. But as you go further, you know, I always find stuff. Now, it's buried, but maybe if we move stuff, I don't know. What do we got in here? Oh, I know. These are pretty cool. See that? This is a game. What kind of game is that? This is a coin-operated game called Split Second. You see that? And these lines, one is a plug that you plug in the wall. Even has a key. Look at that. We have a button. We should have a button on one of them. Where is it? There's 2 that have a button. Okay? And the players, each player has a button, and I guess when it makes a certain sound, you have to react, and you have to press the button. Okay, and if you're the first one to press the button, I guess it gives you the seconds and the, okay, here it is. There's 2 displays, so you have seconds in the coin and the seconds in the player, and the first coin and the first player. So this is first coin, second coin, and you would play against each other to be who would be the first one to press the button. Split second. Now, I don't know why I bought that. I never played it when I was a kid, but it struck me fun, and it was small. And I put it in a box, and it sat in a box probably for 30 years. Probably bought it new. The key certainly looks new. Well, at least we got to the point we want to get to. Here we have a very unique piece. That is a coin-operated AM radio. 10 cents. You see that? Now, why would somebody, where would you use a coin-operated AM radio? I mean, this is like, it's outrageous. Well, I'll tell you where. Have you ever seen the movie Bonnie and Clyde? Right? Filmed in to be depicted in the 20s. That's the period. Because AM radio is what you had. And yes, they had an AM radio in their car, usually. Sometimes they worked or whatever. Nobody had transistor radios. You had plug-in radios. These were in the lobbies of those old-time, cruddy little hotels that had like 2 or 3 stories, and they had a little parlor downstairs where people would sit. Well, they had the coin-operated radios sitting there by the chairs where you were sitting in the lobby of the old hotel. And if you wanted to hear the radio, you put in your dime, and this is pretty tight in there. That's going to have to be all soaked to get that out of there. That's a slide. You'd put in your dime, you'd slide it in, slide it back, and you would have a certain period of time that you could listen to the radio. And then you could turn your knobs, tuning in whatever station you wanted, and your volume. So you didn't think you were going to get a free listen to the radio when you checked into that dive of a hotel, did you? They didn't even have air conditioning, right? This is old Bonnie and Clyde stuff from the 20s. So the coin-operated AM radio, it tells the story of the way people lived back then. We take everything for granted today. Gosh, you walk around, you don't even need your cell phone anymore, for radio or anything. They got these earbuds and listen to it. I mean, everything today is taken for granted. You get so much information everywhere, and it's like free. But you had to pay a dime, and a dime was a lot of money back then. Think about it, right? They probably charged, 35 cents a night in that old Fleabag hotel. And they wanted a dime to listen to the radio. They probably gave you more than 2 minutes. So I'm not sure how long it gave you, maybe 30 minutes or something like that. But if you wanted to listen to the Jack Benny program or something like that, you better get your dimes out if you're staying in a hotel, because the coin-operated radio is waiting for you. And I wonder what would happen if you couldn't get good reception that day. Sometimes you didn't. But I guess we'll, never know, because we're not living back in the 20s. We can only imagine what it was like. So we'll leave it there for another episode of Stuff right here at the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Bye, guys.